Hello. Hello and welcome in. I didn't even look through this I didn't look through all the papers and things that are in here. Hi, I just got home from the Dawn Scott Antique Market. I'm trying to get you guys Facebook. We're gonna play that game. Looks like we're gonna play that game. I have static. So, oh man. So I've been antique shopping all day. Left early this morning. Julie wasn't able to go with me. She had food poisoning. She wasn't feeling well, so we think it was food poisoning. So I went on my own. Scenes from Hawaii. Anyway, so hi, welcome in. Come on in. Hi, Mom. I went up. I was there right when it opened. And walked right in, and one of the first things I found, I'm not thrilled that I bought this right now, but I think I'll be thrilled someday when my idea happens. So this old crappy book, I was hoping it would be like 25 bucks, right? It was 40, and he would not come down, but it did have some really great pictures in it, and they were not all, I mean, they were not in great condition. I mean, some of them were pretty faded out, you can see, the ones I started to show you, but I'm just giving you ideas, you know, and pricing on what I can. I know a lot of you guys like to see this stuff, so, hope you're okay to watch. But as soon as I get to the pictures that I love, make sure you guys can see. You need to be a little bit closer. Maybe. Okay. So, throughout this book, there started to be some at a lake or some water source. I don't know. It looks like a lake to me. And I thought it would be fun to do a nautical type book someday, like a treasure book. I know there's a whole bunch of them and they're really good, which is why I bought it. None of these are, so these will go in the giveaways. There's a bunch of pages here. Here's some. And look at them. It's good. I'm not sure it's $40 good, but it's good. That's a really good one. These are why I bought this book. There's that one. There's several. As we keep going here, I'll come across them. Oh, look at that. Look at her outfit. Love that. So I love all these nautical. Look at that. How cute is that? Look at this one. So they're really great for that. And so you guys can see I know a lot of you guys call them a journal. I just don't really journal, but I like the idea of a treasure book where I can put like collectible type things, little antique-y things in a book and enjoy that book for sometime in the future. Now that looks more ocean, but it still would be nautical. Look at this. She's sitting on the dock. Ah, I love it. Love it, love it. They're in the water. So this is why I bought it. It just went on and on with nautical, more towards the back, I believe. But, here's another where they're sitting. Look at this. They're sitting in a little boat. I don't know. You can see why I was inspired. I was inspired. And he kind of had to pick me up off the floor with the $40 deal. But look at that. I just thought, I'm going to get home and I'm going to think about that book. Because it was one of the things I remembered all day that I bought. So kind of looking forward to putting something together with this. There's another. Anyway, I think that might be it. Yeah, so there was definitely more water ones towards the back. But anyway, and then there was a handful of loose ones. And then there's a couple of negatives, I think they call them negatives in here. Which those are, they're like the big ones too. That's cool. They're not like the strips. They're like this. I like to use these at Halloween time. They kind of have that spooky kind of look to them. So the old slides are really great, especially if you get an old car or an old house. Those are really great. And then these fell out too. So yeah, nothing nautical in there. And then there was a letter and some Hawaii things. So yeah, I probably overpaid for it, but I'll make something really cute with it, and I think I'm going to love it. So it's all good. Anyway, so that's probably one of those things. I don't know what to call it, but hi, everybody. Hi. So, okay, let's get started here. And I literally did not unpack. I need to mark these. This lady had these earrings, and I had bought earrings like this before, and they are perfect for like our little tins or little tiny projects, or let's say I did a Christmas book and I wanted to put a little tree, you know, see? So I did not want a mismatched pair. I did not want a mismatched pair of earrings for $10. I overpaid, but I have had these in the past, and they are awesome for projects. So I bought them anyway. But she would not come down at all. But she sold this for $5. I'm like, what the hell? She gave me this for $5. It is perfect condition. It is an old cotton spun. It is not ripped up. It's one of these, you might have seen Marilyn with Done By Me. She opened some of her old stuff. And I've got a couple of these on my tree, but they're not in great shape. She's like in perfect condition. Mine, like the wires are bare, and this stuff's all like ripped, but ripped really bad. So yeah, she sold me this for $5 and these two trees for $10. So I was okay with that, right? You get it. So sometimes you just have to like move the price tags around and put them where you want them in your head, right? To justify it. Now, there was nothing else in the photo album booth, so I kind of just had to suck it up on that one. And then I had bought my last trip there. If you remember, I brought it over here to show you guys. I'm sorry, I don't know why the internet is skipping. I show the girls in my group all the time. See that right there? That's my router and it's right there. So I can't get any closer. Anyway, I bought 3 pieces of this, right? And I told you I was going to do a wreath or do something upstairs for it. How much was what, Marilyn? I've only shown a couple things. The album was $40. The angel was $5. And the tree earrings was $10. And then this, so that what I just showed you about the last trip in November, and it was $22, the big one. I got another one that was 12 and one that was 18. They were all different sizes. And then this I found today, and it was $6. And it's like an old brooch. Someone would have wore this on their jacket, but it matched all of my other stuff. And she was from my favorite lady. You guys know I always talk about her. It was $6. I absolutely know that, no, this wasn't. This was from our favorite Christmas lady where I got the trees and the angel, the earrings and the angel. That's right. This was another lady on up the way. We always love her. She always goes to Springfield too. A lot of these vendors go to Springfield as well as Dawn Scott. They're all within, I mean, they're all very close. An hour, and for me, it's an hour and 45 minutes to get to Springfield, and it's an hour to get to the Dawn Scott Fairgrounds. Anyway, when I'll explain better here in a minute. But I love that because it went with the other stuff. So I got that just in case I needed a smidge more. I bought some bulbs. I tried to not go over $3 a piece. But I love them when they're like this. So I bought the old Shiny Brights. I tried to make sure every one of them had a hanger, or I passed on them. I've got enough of them now to craft with in my craft arsenal. I got like a whole drawer. Look at this one. So that was awesome. So these are looking absolutely beautiful on my tree, and I'm really loving like kind of like a new collection thing for me for the year. I really didn't get anything like the last trip, like, oh, it's my treasure. I didn't get anything like that, but I did get a bunch of ornaments, which is definitely a treasure. It's just not a one thing, one and done. So here was another one. It was $3.50. It had its hanger. So I tried to get them all like that, you know, because those are the ones it seems like are going by the fastest. And then I got some of this stuff. I know this is just great to craft with, and it was really in great shape. It was $35. I mean, it's expensive, but it's just old tinsel. It was, this one doesn't say. I think it's in a little bit better shape than the ones that I've been working with. See how it's all like intact? So I may pull mine out and switch and keep this one and sell the other, sell what I've been working with. Just to up it a little bit. Oh, I found this. I don't know. I found this stamp. I don't love, this part doesn't seem like that old to me, but I love that it said inventory. And you know how many of my little vignettes have so much crap thrown in them, right? And I thought, oh, what a cute thing to call it my inventory. It's my inventory. So I got it kind of as a haha joke, but it was only $1. And it says, listed for inventory is what the stamp says. But I got it because I thought that would look good. And it's the right color. It's woods and creamy whites and black. So I bought that. It was $1, whatever. Right, whatever. I got some trees. Loved this tree. Now you guys may be like, meh, I don't like it. But I'll tell you what, when you put that with the right arrangement, like once again, I'm going to pull this up. Let's just pretend that I was going to like cut the back half off of this tree and add it to this book. But see how the color, now see the coloring? So when you look at this, like, you know, it looks bleached out and gross, but when you put it with the right things, this is amazing. It took my breath away. I was going to go $20 because that's usually, you know, they're 10 and up. It was $4. Yay. So I was so happy. So yeah, I was like, couldn't get to my money fast enough, right? And then she had another one. This one was $3.50. So it's meh, but still it's old, wood base, and it had some stuff on it. So it'll work out fine for one of my others, but $3.50, yeah, I grabbed it. Use oven cleaner on the wood. I usually end up cutting the wood off, Marilyn, to be honest, because I craft with them. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it is. Hi, Norma. Thank you. I don't know why it's coming and going. I'm really not sure. I'm plugged in, so it's not my phone. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. So if you guys want to deal with the on-off, then you're welcome to hang. Just know I'm going to keep going because for a replay, it'll just be a little blip. So if you don't want to deal with all that, you can come back later. It's fine. I'm not doing anything, but oh, the wood on the stamp. Now say that again. Use oven cleaner. Oh no, I don't want to clean it though. I want it dirty and crusty. Like it's almost too nice. See this part? It's almost too nice. Like I wish I could turn it. I'm going to see if I can't get it to turn. I tried at the booth and it wouldn't let me, but I would like this part to be in the front with no words on it and put this in the back and have this in the front. I wish I could get this to turn, but whatever. I found this little porcelain, I think it's, yeah, I put little porcelain Japan deer, but he was only $3. So again, he's the perfect size for a tin if I wanted to do a Christmas tin or something like that. He's a little too small probably for this, but look at the colors. Once again, there's that tree that looks like crap, but how great. Here's this earring. You see, like that's my eye went, like if I had to pick one or the other, I would have picked this whiter one, a little bit whiter. See that? But I was fine with this green. It wasn't super bright. It was very faded out. So, okay, just again, if you're new here, we're just talking about me and what I look for and need, and just to give you maybe perspective on what you're shopping for or looking at or whatever. This bag was $3. I did not need any of it, although I did really like him for our cotton spun Santas. I haven't shown you guys here yet. I made a sewing. It'll take the finish off. Oh, yes, it'll strip it. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm fine with the color. I just don't like the words. I just don't like those words. They're silver. They look too new. See, it says Pittsburgh, PA. It just looks new to me. See, as you can see the shine. I like this side better. So, That's what I was saying, but thanks, Marilyn. Yeah, I've used oven cleaner to strip wood before. It works great. But I'll do a cotton spun Santa with him. He's a teeny bit small. I might do a pipe cleaner person. Anyway, he's got the old chenille. So he was great. So he was in the $3 bag. He was in the $3 bag, which wouldn't he be cute on a little arrangement, something with that tree. See how it's like the right size? So that's why I'm doing all these littles. You know, here again, I've got her with the whiter earring tree. It's a little too small, but if I put it up on something, see? If I put it up on maybe a Jenga block covered in snow or whatever, little angel, a little cotton spun head that I can do on pipe cleaners. And look at this little tree. It was in there. Ah, could die. I love it. And then this angel. So some of these things I don't want and I'll share, but yeah. And then this bag was $4, and you know these Shiny Brights are usually, when they're little like this, $1 a piece. I'll buy them all day. This one's struggling, but it's kind of cool. Its shape's kind of cool. I'll take that string off. I'll take this gold thing off and put one of my old looking hooks. I love my hooks. I just get them on Amazon. They're a little different than my original hooks that I had found, but I ordered some and I love them. Someone asked me about those hooks. I love the little, hi Dee Dee, I love the little things. This one, you wouldn't think is old, but it really is. This top is super crusted out. So I'll take that gold off of there. I'm not crazy for these ones that have this long stem part. These were actually like on pipe cleaners so they could stick them in things. So it's fine. That'll go in my craft box. It wouldn't hang on the tree. But this one's a nice one to hang on the tree. I'm getting rid of the cord. Hate the cord. Loved this one. So these were all in the $4 box. So I got a really good deal to get all of those for $4. They were all really good, and they all had their little hangers, so they're all great. All right, so there's that, and then my $3 bag. I can pitch those. Let's see here. Okay, so this is from this is from the lady. Yeah, Christine. I put them on my tree. I've put them on my tree the last few years, but this year I really got like bigger ones, and I had been putting all of these little ones on my cotton spun tree, and I was really falling in love with them. And then I started putting the garlands on, and I'm like, okay, it's time. And I worry because I break them. And so I won't spend, very much on them because I break them, and I do break them. So this one, 35, it was 4 yards, but again, it was all intact. Mine's a little hit and miss. I mean, there's a little hit and mine's got a little bit more string. I kind of have to search mine for a nice chunk like that to craft with, and I only got these to craft with. I've already got them on a tree, and I can show you all that stuff. Okay, and then this was $2.50. It doesn't have a hanger, but look, it's one of those kind. So I thought it would be great in greenery, laying on a tin or whatever, worked in. I might put it on this. I'm going to show you. I might put it with this. Actually, I think I will. I think I'm going to put it with this stuff and work it in, because see, it's going to match. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to wire it to this so I don't forget about it. There we go. So I am going to do that. So, okay. Anywho, all right. And then she had this little piece of lace. It was $3.50. This is all the stuff from my favorite older lady. She told me today she was 81, because there were a couple of things that I bought from her, and I'm like, are you sure you want to part with this? And I said, I know you're enjoying looking at this like last time, because that's how I feel when I pack you guys' sale orders, your things you buy from me. A lot of the things, it's nice to just sit with it for a minute, especially things that I've made or something that I've coveted for a long time in my decor, or something that I knew that, I lugged around in the bazillion degrees of heat at Springfield in the summertime, whatever. There's all these reasons to love what we do, and to also, sometimes things are really rare or whatever. But she said, no, she said, I'm 81. She said, I never thought I would ever get rid of my stuff. But she said, I'm 81. What am I going to do with it? And she said, I want to enjoy seeing people like you get it. And that brings that. She said that made her happy. So she was super sweet. And I showed her my sewing Santa and she died. She was like, I love it. So then I thought, I've bought so much stuff from this woman over the years. And I thought, maybe I should make her a sewing Santa. Because sometimes she gives me a nice deal. Usually I pay full price because she's not overpriced. But I buy a lot from her. So I thought, maybe, after Christmas, I won't see her again until January. So anyway, but look at this ratty, tattered lace. It's got that little bit of sparkle left in it, but it was $3.50, so that was a good deal. This little thing was $6.50, but anything she has, I just love it. It's just hard to, someone's handmade it out of satin ribbon. And you can see the stitch work in it, and I loved the lace. So again, I paid up. It's not really, my colors or anything, but maybe I do have a pinkish sort of book that I started laying out, and I thought maybe I could use it on that, maybe as part of the cover. It needs a little fluffing, I know, but I just can't leave it. Everything she has is so aged, and I thought, isn't it beautiful? But for $6.50, and I thought, if I don't keep it, one of you guys will like it, so it's fine. So we'll see. I'm not getting rid of it for a minute. I'll sit on it. This was $6.50. She had several different Christmas trims. Christmas is almost over, but I thought I could put this in my arsenal for someday. It's very pretty. You like it flat and smashed? It was $6.50 for 5 yards. And I have no plans for it, but I thought, well, when I'm digging in my bag of reds and maroons, I don't have much left. I got it right here because the Christmas stuff is out. Where is it? Oh, well, I thought it was right here. I don't see it, but my bag is on. Where the heck is it? But my bag is almost empty. I don't know where it is. It should be right there in that tub. I don't know. It probably is. I just done quick. But yeah, it's like a burgundy red. Oh, Valentine's. That's an idea. It's a little burgundy, a little burnt red. But anyway, I bought it. Okay. Okay, let me show you this. So this was $6.50. And to know me is to know that I love Lily of the Valley. It's like I love it. I grow the whole side of my house in the springtime for about 2 weeks. Just when you walk out the back door, you can smell it from the side of the house. It is the most aromatic, wonderful smell. I can't even tell you. And so I bought this one was $6.50 and this one was $3.50. So I bought them both. The leaves will be great for fall projects. I did buy a hat the other day here locally down the street from me. I ran in real quick and I brought an ornament too. I would love to show you. But she had this hat in there. It was $18, but look at the leaves. They're all velvet. It's just made me think of it with the fall. And then there's a ton of good netting to craft with. So I bought that the other day and didn't show anybody. Okay, so then she had this little vignette hanging up, pinned. She always pins stuff. She had this little deal by the checkout chair. She has all her littles and things all on this little wall thing, and her son sits in the chair and he's 57, I heard her say. Anyway, this little old candy cane was $2.50. So again, when you start packing all of these things on a project, you can see why sometimes they're, $35, $45, and we won't come down because that's, you pay 20 bucks for a 10, 10 bucks for a 10, 18, 15, and you start adding all this little stuff on. It just really adds up. He was, what was he? He was $6, which was a way overpay to me, but he's a good one. A lot of times they're naked. They don't have the beard. They're not naked, but they don't have their beard. So he's a good one, but I overpaid. And these were $12, but I didn't care. Aren't they? I just think they're just adorable. $12. But they're adorable. And I could split the set, I guess. But I'll do something Christmassy with these things for sure. Love them. All from that lady. There's another bag of stuff from her, but I didn't get to it yet. I've got my whole carry-on thing. So we'll get through it. Then this guy, we were just chatting, and he's like, well, what are you looking for? You know, because he had like these tables full of all the little, I have to look up because you guys leave me, these glass cases that you lift up, you know, and you look at all the stuff inside. And he had all these glass cases, and I was kind of just perusing and walking along. And anyway, let me hang on a second. It's my neighbor guy. I need to message him. F-R-E-D. Hey, Fred, I'll call you right back. I'm doing a Facebook Live right now. Okay, yeah, or you can call Randy. He's not home, but you can call him. Sorry. So dumb. Anyway, so I'm walking by this guy's booth, and he's got all these, you know, cases, right? Little flat, like, cases. And it was kind of towards the end of the show, so I pretty much shot my wad, right? And I was like, you know, what else could I possibly find that I love? Anyway, okay. Anyway, I said, you got any tape measures? I kind of wanted to find a tape measure that I could make some of our pins with. Our girls in the group, you know how to make the little straight pins and decorate them. But I wanted to do some with like a tiny little tape like this. And, you know, kind of make little tape measures. Anyway, he pulled this one out. And the tape was down in it, and we couldn't get it out. And I said, you got any tweezers? And he said, actually, there are some tweezers over there. So we got the tweezers out, and I got to pulling at it, and it was $10. And I pulled it out, and it was black and white. So I was like, oh gosh, I've got to get it. It was way more than I wanted to spend because I knew I was figuring I was going to cut it up. But then I flipped it over. Look at those numbers. That's even better than that side. So I'll get like 2 different looks out of the same tape. So I'm going to be able to make a ton of pins. So I'm excited about that. So I bought it from him. He showed me some other things then as we were talking, but it was funny how you can, like, I told him, I'm just standing here looking at all this stuff, and I'm thinking, if I would just take 2 or 3 minutes and stand here and look, I could probably find something I have to have. You know? He's like, yes, you should. So then I kind of did, and that's what happened. But anyway, so this was a chance. This was a splurge. $50 I paid for this bag. She would not come down. But I'm assuming there's more than 50 in here. But they're clock hands. They're clock hands for projects. So I will sort through these and have some sets available for everybody. But see, like large and small. So those are going to be super great. You in the group know we've done the printables with clock faces, and we made, from L&J Goods, we made the paint can lid clocks. These are great for that. But there's all sorts of them in here. So I thought, well, that'll be fun. And there's long ones. You know, there's long ones and short ones. So I'm sure, oh, that's not a clock. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That's trash. Then anyway, yeah. So that was kind of another, that and the photo album was my 2, I don't know. But you never see that stuff. I've got a little tiny baggie with clock hands in it, and I'm very careful when I put them on because I don't have very many. And so it's like now I've got like a whole bunch. And then I did get some lace. I did not need lace, but I did get lace. One of my favorite ones. I did get lace because you guys know when our next sale, I've got to get some lace in there. Oh, I didn't even take it out. Oh, yay. I didn't even take it out. I just saw this and I saw this. I saw this together and I thought, ooh, that's pretty. But look, it's even better because it's apart. So there's that, and then 2 neutrals. So I could put this in the middle of one and still have some left over, and put this in the middle of the other, not use the whole thing, and then I can put this on my pink book. Yay! So yeah, I didn't even take it out of the bag, I just grabbed it. I want that. So, okay. All right, and then the laces, and there wasn't anything great in this bag, really. Just stuff that I got to add to our sale. So let's see what's in here. This was kind of dumb, but whatever. I did like this little clock face. I don't need any clock faces, but I love that one, so I did buy one. And then these were in the dollar bin, $2 bin, $1 a piece, $1 an earring. So there was $2 for those. So that was, I think that's all the jewelry I bought today. Whoa! No, it's not. I bought more jewelry. Sometimes you get stuff and you just drop it in your bag. Oops. My tabletop is glass, so it sounded worse than it was. Okay. Let's see what this is. Probably another ornament. I tried to not buy too many. Oh, no, it's a... Ah. Yeah. Okay. Remember the guy we call Crazy Hair Guy? I may be able to get into this one. I'm not sure. It's like the other one. It's a tape measure, but you can't get into it. It might be empty. I might. Oh, there's the end right there. Let's see if we can do it. This is what I did at the show in that guy's booth. I got it. Nothing on it. It's. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I'm not going to cut this one up. This one was $20. I'm not cutting it up. Yay, but it's great. I'll just leave it like, it's going to go in my sewing display, and I'll just leave it out like that. But it had a really good look to it. Do you see that? It was kind of brass, and I know that's why he upcharged it. But it was that brass look. But yay, I didn't think I could get this out. Now that I got that out, I feel better about it. But I'm not cutting this one up. It's almost papery. It's so old. It's really good. And then this was a little snuff box. I saw 3 of these, and I liked them all. The first 2 were $40, and the one was black like this, and it had inlay in it, like kind of sparkly, almost like seashell looking, like mother of pearl inlay. It was great. It was $40. I saw another one that I didn't love so much. It was $40. And then when I got to this guy's booth, I remember looking I think I've seen this like 3 different times in his booth. I never bought it, and it was $40. And that again, $40 seemed to be the magic number. But he was pretty sure it was a snuff box. He said if it was a match holder, this would have the striker plate, like this, what you would strike the match to. And he said it could be a match, but he's pretty sure it's a snuff box. But I loved it. I splurged in his booth. I also splurged with him. You have to splurge. That's a Crazy Hair Guy. I've taken you guys live from his booth before, and you've seen how awesome his stuff is. And you know, I can't think of a thing that I bought from him that I don't look at it and just love it. So sometimes when you pay up, you know that. This was one of those cases. These were $20. But I absolutely love them. They're little tiny sewing scissors. There's a little pink gem here and here. It's pink. I'm going to try and clean them up a little bit. I don't want to lose the patina, but I want to see if I can get those gems to sparkle just a little bit more. But yeah, you can see them. So I paid up on these scissors, but I absolutely love them, and they'll be great tucked into a needle keep. I've really been getting into these sewing projects. Me, Little Miss I Hate Sewing, has just gone nutso about sewing lately. I don't know why. I pulled it. Oh, see here. See this? I wanted to make little ones like that. Anyway, but see, I've got scissors on this already, so I probably won't put it on this, but these were such a good pair. So these will be keepers. And I think what I'm going to do is eventually I'm going to make, this probably is going to go on that one that we made, the velvet one in the group. Anyway, I think I'm going to put those on that pin cushion where, remember we made the strawberry and all that. So yeah, anyway, love. So if I have to say, if I bought a treasure for myself, it was from that guy, which it always is. He would be the where you find your keepable, not crafty treasure. So, you know, saying stuff. This is from a lady and paid up. Yes, you do end up with nicer stuff. I did. I think I did. But you do end up with nicer stuff. You just know the way their booth is set, the things that are in their booth that they're not going to have. I mean, they might throw something in reproduction just because they can, but I pretty much think that that's just not in their soul. They're like us vintage lovers are, and they're all in. So I think I pretty much trust. There's certain booths that we really, there's a guy from Maine, we trust him. Like there's people that you really trust. So I got a couple more. I didn't need them, but they were bright. They were perfect, $1 a piece. So I got those. This is back from that lady. Love her. The old lady. Oh, this is another pay up. But I love him. And for you guys to understand, I did find the little strawberry Marilyn. I put it in my showcase in a different needle keep because Millie kept, or not needle keep, but a different pin cushion because Millie kept getting on into this one. So I pushed it way back where she couldn't reach it. But I was frantic. When I shut that live off, I went running to that showcase, and sure enough, it was in there. So thank God. Marilyn found me a little teeny tiny creamy white strawberry that I could not love more. And so yeah, I mean, I love it. And I panicked in one of my lives here recently that it wasn't where it was supposed to be on my pin cushion, and little Millie had been into all my buttons. They keep right here for crafting right behind me. So I had a little panic on live. Like, where's my strawberry? So anyway, this was a pay up, but if anyone's going to own him, it would be Marilyn or myself. Maybe Michelle at the Vintage Daisy, because of all the cotton spun stuff. So, you know, I'm totally into this cotton spun. We make our own cotton spun stuff. We make the Santas. We've made the dolls. We've made so much stuff with cotton spun. I can't even name it all off right now. I can't think without making me a liar. But this was an actual, original, all old cotton spun. And he was $28.50. But he is amazing. So I may end up with a little snowman collection because I have another little snowman. A lot of you guys noticed the snowman in one of my recent pictures. Oh, I didn't notice that. His hat's missing the top, but I could put a piece of felt on that. Unless it's in the bag. It might have fell off in the bag. Doesn't matter. It's black inside. You really don't notice it. But anyway, so any of you that get it, you would get this. You would get it. Oh, and this is and as I was checking out, so something went up here. I'm not sure what. And there was a lady that had these. She had a little cluster of these little glass beaded deals. I don't know. She had a whole bunch of them, but they were like $20. And I didn't get them, but I might snip some of those off and work those in amongst those. See the wires? You can see them on my face. I might work these in on the ends so that he's actually holding something. So I did pay up. It did hurt. I didn't get it at first. I bought all this stuff, these bags of stuff here, these 2 bags. And then at the end of the day, I went back to see if she had 2 things. One was this, and one, I'll show you. One was this tree. And I don't think this tree is old. And she did not correct me when I said, I know it's not super old because of the burlap on the bottom. But I said, I love how it's weighted. And I love how thick it is. And then I reminded her about those branches that I bought from her. And I said, I kind of think I want to I'm not going to put the branches on. I'll have to snip them all off and work all of this stuff into this tree. And I think I will love it in my bedroom. And so I said, I'm going to take the tree. It was $29.50. So she said what she liked about the tree was that it was so dense, and she felt like it would hold all of those old ornaments really well, and I wouldn't have to worry about them, you know, falling off or anything, and you could tuck things into it. So we talked about it before I actually checked out with it. And then as I was paying for the tree, I'm like, the snowman was right there in her line, and I said, I wish you didn't still have the snowman. She's like, but I do. So I bought the snowman too. So anyway, that was, yeah, I almost left without him, and I would have been fine. This is $3.50. I don't want that hook on there. I want my own cool looking hooks. So $3.50. That's the, I know I told you I only pay a couple bucks, but from that lady, I'll pay her $3.50. What do you use a top coat for things like the Christmas pictures you sold last week and then printed on tissue? Cheryl, if they just used Mod Podge. I used spray clear coat, and it still bled on the transfer paper, but I don't think it would do that on the tissue paper because I watched them do the tissue paper. So if you're printing it on tissue paper with that Scotch stuff I told you about, you could seal it with Mod Podge. But just do a little test spot to make sure it doesn't bleed or run or anything where you might be gluing something down. Test it first. But I don't think I'm going to seal I will not seal my transfer paper anymore. I'm not going to seal it. I'm just going to go with it like it is. Because I'm not going to do any more paint treatments or plaster treatments. So here's another one. It was $3.50. I'll show you guys what she's talking about. I've got a couple projects laid out to finish. We started these in the group and I haven't finished them, but they're laid here to finish. And we did this angel on transfer paper or tracing paper, and I wanted to be able to see through it. And so when I used my golden matte medium, the black kind of ran. This was all pure white, and the black ran down into my plaster work, which is fine. I didn't want it white anyway, and I've not waxed it. I've not done anything. All we did was put it down. So I copied it. Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking about the paper that from my website that you bought? You can seal it with whatever you want. I thought you were talking about this tissue transfer paper stuff. Sorry, I'm talking about the wrong thing. Okay, talk to me more about what you're asking. I'll figure out what you're asking me. I'm sorry. You copied it to rice paper. Yeah, you're fine. If you want a glossy top coat, you don't even have to top coat. You do whatever you want. You don't have to seal it at all. Okay, still in this old lady's bag. My favorite stuff is from her. Well, these might have been silly. I don't know. But I love my deer, and I have one sheep, and she had these two sheep. They were $3.50 each, and they're carved out of wood. And I thought there was something about them that was just really cute. This one especially, but kind of like the idea of the set. They weren't broken, nothing wrong with them, but they were like carvy out of wood for $3.50. I bought them. So those little things are easy to pop in your decor anywhere you want. And I love these little pine cones. So I bought the pine cones, and I bought anything that was indented. I always like the indented ones. Then the other ones was, well, from another guy. It was like 3 for $10 or something like that. So I did it. Okay, I bought this. It was $12 from her. And like I said, everything she has is amazing. Don't know what I'm going to do with it. Don't know if I can even get it off this card. And I don't know that I'm going to mess with it right this minute. However, patience will endure and patience will win. And this will look great on my tinsel. Oh, it's not all one piece, but that's okay. We can work it around. My little I was picturing the tree that I got from Target a couple years ago. Those of you that have been with me for a while know that I melted it on purpose with my heat gun. I melted the tinsel so it now kind of looks more like this. It's even tighter. But it was a bigger tinsel tree from Target, and I melted it with a heat gun. I didn't like it. It was too silvery. I don't know. I didn't like it. So I melted it and made it look a little more feather tree-ish. And then I put some of these garlands on it, different colored, that I thought I can work this in too, because it's old and it's from her and I love it. So, whoops. This is going to take a little bit of love and care, but it'll be a project of love, like a pleasure to do, whatever. It'll be something I'll enjoy. Okay, anything else in here? Okay, oh yeah. I'm a sucker for Lily of the Valley. There you go. 1884. It's on silk. Gracious as the morning light, pleasant as the noonday sun, peaceful, blah, blah, blah. It goes on. It talks about the new year. It's on silk. It was $18, 1884. She had it. I loved it. And then she had Mother Goose Rhymes in one of these little green books. I always love the little green books. I think I only have one left on my website, $10, but I loved her. I loved the Mother Goose, so I bought that. Let's see, we're getting down to the bottom of her. Oh yeah, and then right after I checked out the first time, I was walking away and this caught my eye up over something, and so I grabbed it. And it is the kind I tell you guys not to get, or to be aware that you're getting them, okay? And we'll talk about that. So these are the two balls hooked together. These are two beads. So if you're going to take them apart and put them in your projects, you probably don't want this kind. You want the kind that thread on individually, just like this. So it looks like a little bulb, not a double. So, but for on your tree, if you're going to use this as a garland, you are perfectly fine to use this kind. So I'm going to put this on my main tree. It was only $18. So, which seems like a lot, but really that's cheap. Okay, let me see here. I'm seeing lots of things. I cracked it with Pentart Crackle and they say to top coat. Okay. You say any top coat. Any top coat. I don't know. She says sales, auctions. You've been making feather trees with Dollar Tree teas and melting the small garland from there also. Awesome. Pentart Fine Line Crackle always has to be sealed with top coat of Pentart solvent-based varnish. Yeah, we've used just whatever, but yeah, Pentart does have an actual solvent-based gloss varnish, and I have that too, Dana. Thank you. Yeah, I guess you should probably stick with Pentart because if you step out too far, shoot, sometimes brands don't play well together. Oh, shoot, I just popped that end off. Now that whole thing came out. I'm going to have to work on that too. Dang it. Or I'll just leave it off. My glue gun on. Ouch, yes. I'm going to glue this down real quick. You guys, give me just a second. I'm going to stick some glue on there so I don't lose any more because I don't have to deal with that. Okay. So, all right, let's keep it rolling here. Ah, shoot. I just pulled those off. The glue stuck to my finger. I daggone did. On it. Okay, well, no more is going to come off. I don't want to stick my fingers. Okay. All right, no more will come off because I did hot glue it. Okay. Sorry. And then the last thing I got from her, she had another little thing that fell off of the thing. Oh, so the last thing I got went from her. Look at these. I could die. They're so cute. $6.50. She had 3 of them. Love them. They're so good. Little tiny wooden bases, rusty wire twisted stems, or what do they call that? Trunks. And the glitter white snow on top is perfect. and they're not smashy. Good, good. And then this one, she had this one. It was $6.50 also, and I liked it because it's old, so I liked it too. I have a drawer of old trees and a drawer of new trees, so depends on what I'm making. Okay, and then this was in my basket. She always gives us baskets, and she said, did this go with something? I'm like, I have no idea. She said, I'm going to put it in your bag just in case it did. And I think, where'd that snowman go? Oh, right here. I think it might have been, yeah, I think it was part of him. So I might have to jam this back up in there. Yeah, see, I think that's part of what he's holding, whatever that was. Look, he's even got part of a pipe. He had a pipe at one time. See his pipe right there? Ha! How cute. Anyway, whoops. So yeah, so I'll shove that. So I got some projects here to do. Some guy had these things. They were 2 for $10. So I bought these 2, and then I bought these 2. So yeah, what used to be $1, then became $2, is now seems to be, you know, $5. But yeah. It could have been a broom. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's all these little wires. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wires. So I'm not sure what he was holding. It doesn't look like a broom to me. Maybe. And then I did get some brass locks. So, because you guys, I share them with you when I can. So, and then I got this little tiny one. I'll probably have to keep that one, but the other ones are little. She had a box. She sells these boxes for $3.50. And so I bought a box to put my ornaments in, but she already had them wrapped up. This is Judith 1987. And I don't want this green. I can take this stuff out later. I don't want the green hook. Anyway, but to store my Shiny Brights in, so I just grab a box every now and again when she has one. It was empty. But to put your ornaments in. A lot of times people will sell them in their in the thing, but she sold her bulbs separately. Let me see what else is in here. I think I'm getting, well, I mean, I've got one more place. I thought this stuff looks like, yeah, this lady's nice. Usually get Halloween and Easter from her, but she had some Christmas stuff that was pretty nice. So she had these trees, which I like these bleached out looking ones. I'm not sure that they're old, but it was $6 for all 4 of them. So I grabbed those. So I'll probably put those in my new drawer. And then she had a couple shoe clips for $5. So there's the shoe clips. I thought they were pretty. I like to work those into my projects. And then she had some old pearl necklaces, just a bunch of old pearls. I love to use those, like when you're trying to figure out if they're old or not. They just have that little stainy sort of look to it. Yeah, someone else said that. It wasn't holding a broom. I just don't think, it probably could have been, and maybe somebody shoved something else in here. But this is like fabric. It's like fabric wrap. There's little strips of fabric, and then there's these wires sticking out of the top. So I'm going to put those old glass, I think I'm going to wire these in, these little ornaments, see, and have him hold that instead, because I don't have an old broom. So I'm going to do that, and maybe someday I'll come across an old broom. Anybody got an old broom we could use? Anyway, so I grab those whenever I see them for crafting. I have some that are, whiter, and like these are a little bit pinker, but still have that vintagey look. So these are a little pinker. These are a little golder. I'm sure it'll show up a little bit maybe, but these have a much more pink cast, and a lot of the pink is off and they're just white. So yeah, but look at this clasp. This is good. That's good too. Pretty. So I got some pearls to sort through my pearls. And then I found a teeny tiny little pocket watch, which I loved. And this thing was only $3. So I thought that was awesome. I thought it was awesome. It's a porcelain face. Doesn't have its hands, but I might have hands in that bag, in that box. And then this was just an old watch face. It's pretty. And then I got this. Marilyn, tell me about this. Tell me what you think about this. Hi, May. Let's see here. I feel like it's an old sewing. It's a magnifying glass, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Yeah, it's an old magnifying glass. I was looking at my tube. Let's see. I think it's an old magnifying. Yeah, I think it's an old magnifying glass. So it needs cleaned up, but I thought that would be cool to put with my little sewing collection. That was cool. All right, then the very last lady I went to. I don't know if I'm going to show you all of this stuff because it's a lot. But she had stuff right up my alley. She'd never been there. I guess I didn't ask her if she'd ever been there, but she's from Virginia. I'm in Ohio. She drove 5 hours for this show. And these were $10, but I thought they were really pretty. I love the buttons. I love the old snap. They've got silky, they were sleeves off, obviously sleeves off of something. Family, her friend's mom and dad. And so they had like all kinds of stuff. So we'll go through it real quick. They had all kinds of stuff. They had a couple, they only had two. They had two of these, you know, I like to do pin cushions in these, in the group, these girls will know. So I'm going to be able to make a couple more pin cushions without having to take, because these were $25 a piece. And she gave me a better deal on these two that, she had like 7 of them, but she gave me a better deal on these two that didn't have anything in them. So they make really good pin cushions. So an unusual base for a pin cushion. So that was fun. There's another one in here somewhere. But I bought some bags of lace and some bags of threads and some, she had some tatting, different tattings. And then she had this, it was $8, but another tape measure with the old tape. And again, it had that good look, but now that I look at it, look at this. It looks almost exactly like that one. And the tape is very similar. This tape is much whiter. And this one was 10. So yeah, it's right in there on the price. This looked like an old collar. Everything was bagged up, so I wasn't really sure. Piece of fabric. This bag, I don't know what else in here, but I bought it because the only thing I wanted out of this bag, I think, was this. And I thought for that pink journal, I've been laying stuff out, I call it journal, but I like to call them a treasure book because I really don't journal in mine. They're more keepsakes, and I pack them so full of stuff. Ain't nobody got any room to put anything else in there, really. I usually leave a couple pages for you, but I like to fill them up and do all the pages. So anyway, I did love that for a pink book. So I kept that. But the rest of this, like this, but this is such a neat set, like for the cover of a book, like even a Christmas book. Maybe we could do something Valentine's-y with that. And there's tacks in here. Shoestrings, don't want that. Shoestrings, that could go into Halloween, the colors. And this was curtain rings, but again, orange and black for packaging. More shoestrings I don't want. And then it had this old package of seam binding, and you know I love the seam binding. But I was kind of curious about it. It's pinned down. I didn't do bad for going by myself and not having Julie to say, what do you think? What do you think? Girlfriend. But oh yeah, it's got a great look to it. Neat. Love it. So this is old seam binding. It's not gonna I don't think it'll crinkle up like the other, but I love the packaging of it. So there's that. I got all that stuff. Loved these little stockies. Okay, let me show you these. I thought these were super cute to do like maybe a little miniature Christmas something. So I'll probably put them in my box for next year. I just flipped them over because it's got these stickers on and we'll have to get that off. But like for do like a little column stocking project. I got a couple of these, $2 for the little button cards. And then more lace, more tatting. I like this bag because it was polka dotted fabric. And you know, I like that. It makes me happy. I like polka dots. I don't know what this is. It was just a little... I didn't open up all of these bags to see, so maybe a surprise. It's like a little skirt or something. I don't know what it is. It's definitely lined. It is like a little skirt. It has a drawstring. I don't know. But it is great to cut up and craft with because it's already got that tea stain look, you know? I did good thing. Oh, are they the ones I was looking for? Curtain rings. Why did I want curtain rings? Now that you say that, Marilyn. Yeah, you were going to teach me how to do something with curtain rings, weren't you? Let me answer him real quick. Hey, I'm on a live. Hi.
Real quick, what's the combination for the Little House Norwich?
I'll text it to you. I have 65 people listening.
Oh, okay.
Okay, bye. He wants a code combination to get into our house. So, hang on. Okay. And then Summer just text. No, he's at the Little House. Sorry. Okay. Catching up on my messages. I don't know. I'm lost. Okay, sorry. Curtain rings. Okay, where did I put that? What do you want those for, Marilyn? It was something you were going to... Hi, Martha. It was something we were going to make together. I remember now that you say that. Was it something about the chattel? Was that right? The chattel? Curtain rings, solid brass. I was thinking yours were white. Should I not say... Oh, crap. I don't remember, Marilyn, but this is what they look like. You tell me, honey. I don't know. They're this big. So you tell me, maybe. I can still use the packaging for Halloween. So, all right, I'll lay that aside. I'm going to run out of a side here in a minute. I'm going to run all out of a side. I keep saying I'll lay everything aside. Run out of room. Bunch of neutral thread spools. I did pay $10 for a full allspice, but I kind of have found, I used to dump all the spices out. I've kind of found that I'm liking leaving the spices in because then these tins aren't top heavy. They would work. Oh, right. Sweet. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, girl. We're good. Okay. So $10 I paid for this, but I thought it would be a great tin to craft with. It might be a little orange in my light. No, it's red. Anyway, we'll see. I don't know. I'm out of Christmas time now, but I'll just put it up in my tin box for Christmas. But, okay, more lace, more tatting. She had a ton of tatting, so that'll be fun to go through and see what all I got. All sizes of soft. I did buy this little button card of glass buttons. I've had them like this before, but it was full, so I got that. That was kind of neat. More tatting. I did kind of hit the jackpot with her, and then this, a frame in it, a really neat brass frame. For like, I thought a book cover frame. And then it had this really old wooden embroidery hoop, but I kind of liked this stuff wrapped around it. And like that book, you girls in the group, you know how we were sewing, I showed you how to make those wired frames. Why couldn't I do that sort of look like they've already started here and add different textures and make that a frame? So that'll be a fun piddle around with thing in there. And then we've got more thread. I got more thread than I realized. More tatting. A piece of a collar, it looks like. More. Here's the other the other pocket watch frame for my pin cushion. So, oh, and it's got a train on the back of it. I didn't open it. I just saw it was empty, and she gave me a deal on the emptier ones because the other ones, like I said, were $25. I wasn't doing $25. And then this was $2. It had the button card, but it had a little girl and a mommy, or a possible lolly. There's another plane, and then she had some pins, which I thought were a good deal. They were $3, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5 pins. So there's like a brown and a pearl, and then kind of a purpley, kind of, and then that pretty one. No, there's only 4. Oops. 4. That one's the one. But $3 for all those, so that was a good deal. But this was all from this estate sale, and she said they drove up from Virginia, and she said they'd probably be back. So I'm like, sweet. So I was super excited. I said, well, you see what I'm buying, so bring more of that, because she said you need to come down to Virginia and see what all we've got. She said we've got a house full of this stuff. So there's no way. She said it was like 5 hours. There's no way I can get away to do that. But so I said, if you come back, you just load up what you think I'll want, and I'll be a buyer, because I would be happy to be a buyer. So then she had this little bag of stuff, and it's going to be fun to go through. I'll do that so you can see. But it's like little packages, little teeny tiny wrapped packages, and then these little deals. There's several of these little like charms, or no, they're like a snowflake there's a little hook. See the little hole at the top? Yeah. There's all kinds of little gold, but there's all different sizes of packages. That's what intrigued me the most was let me just pull some out. And they're all wrapped differently. So I thought that was kind of fun for crafty projects, right? And then there were just a couple Santa printout things. And then what else caught my, oh yeah, there were 2 little teeny tiny pipe cleaner wreaths, which I thought was super cute. And besides that, that's about it. And then last but not least, I ran into this guy. Again, he had a table full of all those display cases, and you kind of glaze over after a while, after all this little stuff, you know. It's like, I don't feel like digging anymore, kind of. And I saw he had keys. And as I was digging through the keys, I found one of these, which you know is the coveted thing right now. I gave Julie 3 of them, I think, for her birthday. Oh, I was coveting. But these are, he said I think he said a trundle machine bobbin. If you find them, I'm on the lookout. But I don't want to pay, $2 or $3 is all I want to pay. Because I can find them for that. It's just one here, one there, one here, one there. If you want to pay $30 for one, go to Etsy. You can do that. But yeah, anybody got a bag full of? So I get a hold of it. So I messaged everybody I knew that was selling stuff, and Tara's like, I messaged Tara at Sweetwater Trading. She's like, oh my God, I just threw out a whole bag of them. I'm like, why would you throw that away? She's like, I don't know. I sold them. Oh, doesn't that just figure? So I'm like, don't throw any more away. And then he had this really neat little tag, which I just liked it because it was a little brass tag. And if you know me, you know I have, yes, a treadle. Okay, a treadle machine bobbin. Okay, I knew he said something like that. Treadle machine. That's what I'm looking for. Kim and Marilyn, you know that. That's what we need, those. So anyway, this little brass tag, and he's like, oh, I said, well, how much would that be? And he's like, oh, that's an Ohio University, something tag. I'm like, he said Ohio State University, whatever, because I'm in Ohio. And I thought, how do you know that? And he's like, well, it's got OSU stamped right on it. I'm like, oh, it does. So anyway, he sold, because I bought so many keys and stuff from him, he sold it to me for $5. So I was super stoked about that. And so I'm picking through these keys, and I like the tiny keys. You know, I've had them on my website. Actually, I may still have some on there, but I know I have just the regular size. But I found two itsy bitsy, look at that, itsy bitsy bitsies. And so he was like, well, I don't know, $6 a piece. And I said, no. I said, look at all those keys. And he says, well, I said, honestly, I find them with metal detectors. I'm like, that means you didn't pay anything for them. I said, how many keys do I have to get them down? He said, well, maybe $3 a piece. So he said, well, will you take them all? So I did. I bought them all and got it. But those were the two I really, really wanted. And then he sold me this. Instead of 20, he made it 5. So that helped. And then this, he said I could have for $1. So I was like, yay. So I was a happy girl. So I've got some keys now, because my small keys were getting really low. I was getting really low on the small keys, and those are my favorite things to add in now. I used to want the big ones so you could see them, but now I'm like, everything I like is all the little stuff. Anyway, that's all I got. So I need to call my neighbor back, and I need to message Abby back. She got Randy jeans for his birthday, and they were button fly, and he won't even try them on. He's like, I am not buttoning that. He wouldn't even try them on, so we got to send it back. So that's what Abby was messaging about, his dad's jeans. And because we were at this party, and I noticed he was the only one wearing like really washed out jeans. Everyone else had all really dark jeans. And I'm like, oh hey, I just saw another ring, Marilyn. Anyway, so when she's asking what Dad needed, I'm like, he needs some dark jeans. So I did get some great stuff. And Randy's like, did you get any treasure? Did you get anything you love? And I do love the Christmas tree. I didn't tell him that because he's not going to want me to get a Christmas tree because I got to store it. It's not that big, but it's going to be fab when I'm done with it. And that lady asked me, she says, are you going to decorate it this year? Are you going to put all that stuff on it? Or are you going to wait? I said, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it tonight. And she's like, good for you. And then I thought, oh, you're right. It's only gonna last a couple days. I gotta take it all back off. Maybe I'll wait. And she's like, go for it. You should do it. So I don't know if I will or not, but if I do, I might put a bag up over it and try to not have to take it all back off and just readjust it next year. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, my treasures, I'd have to say, are from that crazy hair guy I told you about. So the scissors, that's probably, I would say those are just pretty daggone awesome with the gem, with the little pink gem in there. Those are pretty, I know I feel like I paid up for them, but I'm going to love them long time. So, gosh darn, I got a mess here either way I go. I told you guys I would show you I should do it? Yeah, I know. I probably will. It just depends on if my daughter has me painting at her house. I told her I got home. I told her I was going to show you guys first. Got to call Fred back. Let's see. I don't even have my lights on or nothing, but I wanted to show you my sewing Santa. How many are still here? Oh, most of you. Oh, geez. Oh, I flipped the wrong switch. Okay, hang on. So, for those of you that missed my Instagram, where I showed you my tree, see my beaded garlands? I've got big ones and little ones, and these are the 2 ones, and these are the individual. I don't mind the double beaded on my tree, okay? I don't mind the double beaded on the tree at all. I actually kind of like it. So anyway, I needed another strand, at least one more strand down here. You can see I've got a little bit. And then I have 2 here, which I like 2, and then I need another strand for here and here. So that just gives me something to look for in the future, is those colorful garland strands. So anyway, there you go. You can get a glimpse of a lot of handmade. Here, I got him when I bought that hat I showed you with the velvet. He was $18. He is old cotton spun little strand. I loved him too. So anyway, that's my tree, and I'm super daggone loving it this year. It's a little sparse down low because of Millie, my granddaughter, likes to rearrange things, and I don't want her touching all of these antique bulbs that I've been collecting. So anyway, yeah. Okay, here, looky. See, I told you my wired angel is not in good shape. But I still love her, and I just sit her there. She just sits there. I have 2 of them on here. I don't know where the other one is, but I do have 2 on here somewhere. Oh, it's going to be fun tearing this baby down, isn't it? But look, this was from when I was a kid. Love that. And this one was from when I was a kid. Love that. And a lot of the handmade. I love these grumpy old handmade Santas. You guys could find them on my YouTube channel if you type in paper mache. You can find, yeah, I saw you had some too, Marilyn. I love that. So let me zip you around here. I want to show you my sewing Santa, because only the girls in the group have seen sewing Santa. So hang on. He's a gem. And then you girls have, even the girls in the group. Whoops. Oh, there goes a bulb. I better pick it up before I step on it. Oops, I knocked it off. Okay. All right. Sorry. Let me flip you around. Sorry. Let me find sewing Santa. Here he is. This is my sewing Santa. I'm so proud of him. I did a beautiful quilt. It looked, you can't really see it, but I flipped it around and used the stitching side, the back side of the quilt as the outside. I had it all cut to do it the other way, and I really liked the back side. So, and then I'm thinking all the stitching, and then I thought, let's just do a sewing one. Marilyn, you recognize my strawberry? She sent me that. And I stuck some pins in there. I've got a bobbin for the tree base. I've got a button for his belt buckle. I did a little pin cushion, and I filled it with emery sand and put a piece of his clothing for the pin cushion top. And then I taught the girls how to make pretty buttons in the group, or pretty pins, like pin cushion pins. And then he's got some tatting hanging off of his arm. Isn't he fabulous? I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. Isn't he neat? So yeah, he's my sewing Santa. I invented him, and I'm claiming it 100%. I never saw a sewing Santa before. And then this is the one I made with Julie. She said, oh, I didn't have it on the tree. She said she thinks it's her favorite one I've ever made. So I made him out of wool. And then the red plaid is a tablecloth that she brought over. I stuck an old candy cane in his pocket. Trimmed him all out, stained it all out, gave him a big collar, added a little, kind of tried to mimic a holly in his hat. And then I had that little wooden box, so I put a red bow on it, and then added some ornaments. Like I wired 3 ornaments that he's holding with a little greenery, and then a couple of bells that have just a hint of red to them. They were old vintage. There you can kind of see that back bell. They have a little bit of red. But anyway, this Julie thinks he's her favorite one ever that I've made. I like him too. He's just pretty great. So I have him tucked up there. And then the other one that I made this year, I only made 3. Where is he? Because I love him too. Oh, here he is. He's a little crookedish, but I love him too. He's pretty sweet. He's with, okay, you know that face that I got that I said I could make a Santa out of? That's what this is a, like a pixie face. That's what that is. And he's got some low-cut pants on, his hip huggers. He's got hip hugger skinny jeans. And then again, his coat, I put it on backwards because I like the back of his coat better than I did. See, the front side was good. You can see it between his legs. Like that was what I was going to put on, but I liked it better flipped, so I flipped him. And then that tree is pretty much sad. See the wire base? There was no pine left on the tree except the top little third of the tree, but I don't know. I thought it was super cool, so I used that tree. So anyway, those were my 3 Santas for this year that I made. All the other ones we've made previously, or Julie made. Julie made some. I love this one. When we first started doing these, we used the paper faces, the German die cuts, and we did paper faces. And there's, I don't know how many on here. All of the little ones up here are paper faces. There's an original. I did buy one. I splurged for one original. Oh, here's another paper face down here. These were like our original ones when we very first started teaching how to do them in the group. And then we moved up to figure out how to make the clay faces. And so that's what these different ones are, clay now. And we're painting the clay out to look different. There you go. And then sometimes we're adding wool, or sometimes we don't add anything. And then sometimes we're adding actual wool to the beard. This one was rabbit fur. We add a rabbit fur to him. So yeah, they're all just a little bit different. He was my favorite one from last year that I made. I really loved him. However, the inside of his coat doesn't thrill me. What you can see through, I don't love that about him, but I absolutely love him. So what I may need to do is tea stain. I think that's all I need to do is tea stain the inside of this, tea stain the inside of that coat to make me like it better. But anyway, and then I would love it. It's just a little too white. See the white. I don't know, that bugs me. It's too white. And that's rabbit hair or rabbit fur. So anyway, there you go. I know I've shown you guys this. Oh yeah, and then that's just a wadded up piece of velvet crazy quilt. That was the very first crazy quilt we ever bought. And boy, I love it. We have never found one that pretty before, and that muted down. I love that one. So anyway, you guys, that's all. That's plenty to show you. I did want to show you that snowman, that paper mache snowman thing that I found. And yeah, I repainted my dining room this week too. Let me show you. Well, you can't really, you would never be able to tell. But I repainted the dining room, and then I moved Millie's desk, and I moved my Santa mug there so that I could enjoy, like, this is how it works in my, like when I'm going up and down the steps, and my craft room is right here. My office, shipping, craft room, everything is right there. So, and we go up and down the steps, like I show you that cabinet, I've shown you that before, but we go up and down the steps all the time right here. And so this is what you see. So I thought I would enjoy putting that there to where I can look at it and see my Santa mugs instead of having to come in the room and stand back here to see them. I put it there. I like it much better. Of course, I'll be taking the Santa mugs out of there, but I have all my sewing stuff that I'll put back in there. Anyway, and so I put this here. This was at the little house, and after my daughter moved out, I brought it back home. Yay! I was so happy to have it back. And so that's how I did it up. I moved some of my deer over here, and yeah. So anyway, and then I rearranged. Of course, Randy's got his desk in here. Our house is a mess. We not only live here, we work here, and so anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's that. So you guys, thanks for joining me. I always give you so much. If you miss my beginnings, you should always come back to my ends, because you never know where we're going. And it always seems like I get way off track and take you somewhere I wasn't totally intending on doing. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Oh, let's see. Somebody said something. Oh, you love the tree skirt. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. Thanks. And if you ever want to join our group, we'd love to have you. We can craft together over there. Got big plans for the new year. So I'll see you later. Bye-bye.